Here's your Geordie journos, St James's Park. What a night. You'll be watching this anytime, probably 24 hours after the event potentially, but I'm pretty sure everybody out there who'll be watching this will probably still be as buzzing. You sitting there now is what we are here. That was history made tonight. Newcastle United didn't just go and beat one of the favourites for the tournament, a team who are a Goliath in European football over the course of the last decade. The impact that they've had. Newcastle United went and absolutely smashed them off the park here at St James's Park. So come on lads, tell us how they did it and tell us a little bit about your feelings, because we can analyse this, right, till the cows come home and talk about, wow, Bruno this and Jamal Lascelles that, and we can do all of that, but how did it feel? Because we're the Geordie journos, you're Newcastle fans. I've got to say, I almost lost the plot when Sean Longstaff scored his goal. So tell us a little bit more about the feelings, about how you feel about that, because it was incredible.
It was quite emotional actually. You try and be as dispassionate as possible, or at least me and Jordan do, in the press box. Liam, as he says, gets a bit carried away. But yeah, when our Champions League music comes on, the war flags are waving, hello, hello, we are the Geordie boys. You just realise
it was incredible, wasn't it? Yeah.
How far this club have come. It was quite cathartic in a lot of ways after so long out of the competition. To hear that Champions League music, hear the roar of the crowd, and to come up against, like we say, one of the best teams in world football over the past decade, and absolutely tear them apart, and tear them apart with a Geordie coat to the side. Sean Longstaff, like you say.
I love him, you know I do. I always talk about him. I'm not going to talk about him this time, I'm going to let you do it.
But I'll be honest, I think when Dan Burns scored, because he's a player who, as much as he's a local lad, a boyhood Newcastle fan, has come under a bit of criticism. He's probably the one player bought since the takeover who's still here, who has come under sort of an extended period of criticism. And for him to get that goal, celebrate with his arms spread wide, I mean, just incredible to see how far he's come from non-league football to scoring in the Champions League here. I don't know, I'm lost for words. I just don't think football for Newcastle United gets much better than this unless you're literally winning a trophy. I think it's a historic night for the football club, and one that we'll remember for the rest of our lives.
I was going to say it was quite Jude Bellingham-esque, wasn't it, the celebration, but it was more Angel of the North, the size of the ball. Come on then, he was your star man, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Dom mentioned there about the criticism we had, and I hate saying it, because, look, as I've said countless times, when Dan Burn was signed for this club, I thought he was there for 6 months. I thought he'd help keep the club up, and I don't need to be any longer. But this is a man that is constantly doubted by fans. He shouldn't be a left back. Play Lewis Hall. Bear in mind that Lewis Hall didn't look too good when he played last time, obviously time to bed in. But Dan Burn is in that team for a reason. He's stayed at left back for a reason. Matt Target's back fit now. Okay, not great competition if you like, but Dan Burn has stayed in that team for a reason, because of his leadership and because of what he brings to the side. Look, you had a really helpless task against that left hand side today. We looked at the team sheet beforehand, going, you know, Dembele down that side, we're thinking, oh god, like the pace down that side is going to cause Dan Burn real problems. I think it was probably once he got done by that side. Yeah. The rest he was solid.
He was.
And then next thing you know, he's popping up with a goal, which, you know, no one could have predicted. But as Don mentioned there, it's a beautiful story. Same with Sean Longstaff, but Dan Burn in particular, released or let go by this club as a kid, had to restart his career in non-league, beat the likes of Yeovil on loan, went back to Fulham, Brighton, Wigan, and then came to his spoiled club in a relegation battle. Helped keep them up, and I just think it's extremely fitting that he's one of the people I got on the score sheet today. So again, criticism with Dan Burn, I can never have it. I think he's brilliant. He's been excellent servant for this football club, and look, he's not got a long-term answer at left back, but he's there for a reason, and he probably will be there for his end of the season. But he's earned that as well. He's earned a place in this team, and yeah, you love Sean Longstaff, Liam. I love Dan Burn.
So yeah, what I'm going to say is let's not try and get too Geordie-centric. I'm going to pick out some other players that I thought really stood up to some incredible scrutiny today, and I think the beautiful symmetry, as I've spoken about in previous videos, about Jamal Lascelles walking out to the Champions League music. Special mention to the crowd who did the AC Milan thing and the Italian thing, the champions. I love that. That put a big smile on my face. But Jamal Lascelles, we're talking about a guy written off on numerous occasions. We're talking about a guy who has had his ability questioned. We're talking about a guy who's shown the cojones to stand up when Newcastle United were on their feet. Out on their feet in that relegation battle, stood up when many others wouldn't. To lead out tonight, there's a beautiful symmetry about that, and not only that. So we're not just. This isn't just about sentiment here, because that is very sentimental. We're talking about performance, ability. You asked the question in the press conference. Eddie Howe gave you a really good answer on it. Jamal Lascelles was outstanding tonight. Bearing in mind he's come back into this team with Sven Botman, who's arguably Newcastle's best centre half. And I'm going to come on to Fabian Schär in a minute, so don't worry. Jamal Lascelles has come in and limited Manchester City and PSG to 1 goal in 2 games here at St James's Park. It is quite incredible. Another one, like I say, Fabian Schär, often overlooked, never undervalued or underrated by Newcastle United and the players around him as well. Arguably, is probably going to go down in future with history. He's probably one of the best footballing centre halves this club's seen in the modern era.
One of the best transfers the club's ever made.
This bargain.
Yeah. When Rafa picked him up for 3.5 million or whatever it was, and from the bargain basement, and even when Steve Bruce was trying his best to try and ruin the bloke's career. You obviously didn't read me copy this week. I was calling him a ground shaking lizard, I think, and a dinosaur at one point in me copy this week. Anybody check that out in Newcastle World, you might enjoy it as a preview for this game. I've lost myself here. Fabian Schär, there aren't many players who go and do what he did. Look at that win, man. Winning the ball, like 90th minute, winning the ball, 60 yards from his own goal. Little 1-2, and just managing to bend a ball in like that right in the top corner. Just beautiful, but we know he can do that. He does that for fun. We haven't seen it for a while, but he brought it out on the biggest occasion today. So many players like that really produced. Miggy Almiron. Everybody put a shift in today. Anthony Gordon was class. He's always class. Sandro Tonali, I felt, found a little bit more of a role in this team today. Fell off a little bit in the second half, and it was the right change at the right time. And Anderson came in and brought some good energy and good purpose to that midfield. But yeah, I think we've probably ticked every Kieran Trippier. We cannot not mention Kieran Trippier, because again, it's a bit daft really, because his levels are so high that if he just put in that performance today, we'd be raving about him. But it's because of the ones he's put in over the last 2 weeks that it's like, that's just what he does. He's getting better and better. He's like a fine wine, a vintage, and he's really showing it on the biggest stage. Got some good leaders in that camp, and this team is really starting to purr now. It's really starting to score goals against the very best. There wasn't a whole lot between the teams today, to be brutally honest, but Newcastle United showed their real clinical side again, where they go and score goals in bunches and they go and beat teams and beat them comfortably. And it was just another memorable night that will go down as one of those I was there moments at St James's Park. The Geordie journals were there. We'll try and give you a little bit. I'm sure we'll cut in with little bits and bobs from behind the scenes of the game here if you didn't have the chance to be here, and hopefully we can bring that bit of inside stuff and a little bit of the feeling and emotion from the day, because it's been an emotional one. It's been a passionate one, and the crowd I've really got to mention for War Flags, incredible, great stuff. But that feeling, that synergy between what's on the stands here and what's on that little blade, that little patch of grass behind we're there, when that's going in a certain direction, when it's all pushing in the right direction, Newcastle United, no matter what players are out there and no matter what the situation is, can be a match for anybody here at St James's Park. Just a shame they can't play cup finals here because we'd win trophies galore. That was for all of you, every single one of you, all of you that sat through every painful, horrible minute of that 14 and a half years of Mike Ashley. They were all stuck by and kept your tickets, even for the people who left and have come back, and even those who've left and can't get back. That was for every single one of you that endured that absolute horror of a time. Look, it's only a game of football, we all know that, but it was disgusting. It was horrible to be a Newcastle United fan. I forgot what
Let's be positive, man.
I forgot what a football club was and what it was meant to be as a fan, never mind a journalist, in Mike Ashley's time. And Eddie Howe, to me, has restored that faith. The owners here have restored that faith, and those players out on that pitch there have restored that faith. So that result tonight, that little bit of history was for every one of you, and every little bit of pain that you felt during that time. So soak it up, enjoy it, because we certainly are. It was an incredible, incredible night.
We were talking in the press room afterwards, like, was it the best ever night at St James's Park? It's the best night personally I've witnessed. A few older generation came in, Barcelona was better, very, very staunch on that, but what did you guys think?
Well, yeah, I think I said that Barcelona was better, but this is coming from a guy that wasn't even born at the time, so I'm just going off from obviously hearing stories from family members, etc. Because you look at the two teams now, and I know you're going back years, but the Newcastle team that beat Barcelona wasn't as strong as this one. Barcelona's reputation around Europe, of course, is massive, still is, always will be. Whereas Paris Saint-Germain, okay, they are European giants, the French giants, but I think it's been a sort of a new build for them in terms of where they came from, obviously with the Qatar money.
Yeah.
So I think if you could look at the two games, Barcelona is the one in terms of opponents, but that's no reflection on the night. Tonight was a truly incredible night and will live with me forever. You mentioned all the years of sort of pain on the Mike Ashley. That tonight was a performance and a result that just felt, that gave everything, and I felt everything in the stands watching it. I felt really privileged to be here.
So yeah, I think an evaluation of it has to take into account the Barcelona are Barcelona. PSG will never be Barcelona.
Yeah.
So to have went and done that from where Newcastle United had come from in the 90s, so you're talking only probably 5 years before in the lower division, Kevin Keegan got them to a position, then left, of course. They were a good side, to be fair. Newcastle finished really high up in the two previous seasons, almost won the title a season and a half before. So Newcastle were a force in English football then, but it was more about, it was the first game in the Champions League, first game at this level, and to come out and announce yourselves on that stage was incredible. In some ways, what Newcastle United have done this time isn't as sort of monumental as what they did against Barcelona, but it also has the same impact. The world, Europe, European football. Ask anyone out there, the performance of the week will be Newcastle United. The goal of the week might well be Fabian Schär. The player of the week might well be Miggy Almiron or Bruno Guimaraes. Newcastle United have announced themselves on this tournament, and I want to say my final word anyway for the Italian press. We were over there in the San Siro. I'm getting a bit bitter here now. Almost like it's meant to be positive. No, they said we didn't belong. Honestly, they said we didn't belong. Newcastle United do not belong at this level. You know, looking down from that ivory tower, one that's crumbling in the San Siro, looked at us and said, "You don't belong here," and made us feel like that. Just watch that back. Just watch that back and look where this football club's going. Because we've got to remember, this isn't a one-off. Newcastle United will be here to stay. I'm not saying they'll definitely get in next year, but these nights will come to St James's Park, I would guarantee, over the next 10 years on a regular basis. Big wins, big teams will take some big scalps at this football ground behind me. And we belong here. And the old order will soon realise in the years to come that Newcastle United do belong here. So this is a little reminder to everybody else that what this football club can be, and I'm certain will be, in the not too distant future. Right, lads? We're going to have to get our car out of the car park before we drop it off for a couple of pints, I think.
Yeah.
We've got to have a couple of pints after that. It'd be ridiculous not to. So right, I'll say the final word for you two. Anything to add?
Not really. You're sort of lost for words in a lot of ways.
But could talk all night by the same token.
We've spoke for nearly 15 minutes on it, but yeah, just an incredible night. And like Jordan says, I think we're all privileged to be here. We're in privileged position. I'm sure we'll all be keeping these for the years to come. And we'll always remember this night. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching, being part of it, and yeah.
We'll do the T's and C's.
You're better at
All that right. Like, comment, share, and most of all, click that little bell and subscribe, and then you'll get everything that we do on the Geordie Journos. We'll do a few videos a week. We'll do a little bit more if you want to. If it's what you guys want to see, check out the shorts that we put. An incredible short tonight from the Champions League music. You guys check that out. Give it a like, give it a share, and yeah, subscribe. And we'll keep the Geordie Journos content coming. Fingers crossed, Newcastle United keep the 3 points coming as well. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. See you at West Ham on Sunday.